I really want to do something that inspires people, something that inspires other women, that shows support, because I've had such wonderful support throughout my entire career. It really takes so many people if you want to follow your passion. You really need to have a team of people behind you, especially if you're a mom, if you're a wife, if you're a mother. You're always going to have hard days, tough days. You need to have people to go to. And so that's what we all need to be for each other. So thank you all for coming. And now I'm going to introduce one of our first speakers, because I wanted these women to come up and share their incredible stories of how they've gotten from point A to point B. So often when I have to go and talk to people, I have young women come up to me, and sometimes not even young women, and ask me, well, how did you get to do this, or how did you get to do that? And I kind of explain to them, well, yeah, I went to law school, I did this, I did that, and they're like, oh, I could never do that because I didn't go to school or whatever. No, if you have a passion, go chase your passion.
How do you follow your passion? One of the ways I followed my passion is I grew up in a very traditional family. I love my family. My parents are still married. They still live on a farm. And I was, probably about 8 or 9. And my brothers were driving a combine, and I'm the oldest. And I saw their check, and I'm like, what the heck is that? And I'm making lunches? I go, that ain't gonna happen anymore. So I sent out this mustard and bologna sandwich out to the combines during harvest. My dad comes whipping in and says, what is this? I can't eat this. And I go, well, I don't care. I want to drive truck. I want to drive combine. And so you do. You have to stand up for yourself. And you have to say, you know what? I can do this. I can farm, and I can be a farmer. And so one of my greatest accomplishments, I was told to talk a little bit about that, was I'm the second woman farmer in the 60 years of the Washinton Association of Wheat Growers.
What happens sometimes is, like, you call it serendipity. And sometimes things happen, and people see things in you that you don't see in yourself. And things just sort of happen, and one thing builds upon another. I've been blessed throughout my entire career with wonderful mentors and people who have encouraged me. Now, because I was a woman in science, going through college in the late 60s, early 1970s, most of them were men. But they were men who were ahead of their time in really reaching out and helping and sponsoring women. They did it not just for me, but they did it for other women. And then I had the opportunity at a technical meeting to hear a wonderful woman named Dr. Mary Good speak at a luncheon. And she talked about the power of serendipity and how it impacted her career. And this woman has been a senior vice president of Allied Signal, was a major corporation. She's been the undersecretary technology and Department of Commerce. I mean, she's been amazing. But what she said was things she learned to do in volunteer organizations were the key to her being able to get step-ups in her own career. And in fact, that's the way things started for me. My first big chance was actually starting up a daycare center from scratch that ended up winning national awards. And that got me noticed, and then one thing built on the next. Well, one of the reasons I got my real breakthrough with this National Science and Technology Committee on Biotechnology, which is run out of the White House, was because the prior chair asked me to do it because he said I knew how to run a committee. Well, I learned that through volunteer efforts.
But the first Wonder Woman that I've ever met in my life was my mother. She immigrated from Germany after World War II and raised 4 children. Unfortunately, my father left when I was 3 and we never saw him again. And she taught us a very strong work ethic, and that's what actually got me where I'm at. I don't have a college degree, so I still can't believe I'm on the board with all these people who have MBAs, and I have a high school education. But a hard work ethic got me to where I'm at. I started in what I refer to as a grunt position in district court 25 years ago, and I can't believe it's been 25 years. And fortunately, I had administrators and judges who saw something in me that I didn't see in myself and said, we think you can run this office. And eventually, I worked my way up to the administrator in district court. And then I was crazy enough to throw my name in the hat for Benton County Clerk in 2006, with my husband behind me the whole time going, you know, I think this is something you can do. I think this is something you can do. And I swore I'd never run for election. So anybody who has said they will never run for election, beware, because you might wind up doing that someday.
One person in my life who inspired me to continue to do whatever I wanted to do. And she routinely told me, it doesn't matter what you want to be what you want to be. Don't worry about what anybody else says. And for me, that was my mother. So she's actually the one who bought me my first doctor kit, who bought me the costume, the doctor outfit. And she has been an inspiration to me because she went back to school after she had children, and went back and went to graduate school after she had children, and advanced in her career. And she always told me, you can do whatever you want to do. And so I achieved, I think, a lot of what I have become simply because I had someone in my life who always encouraged me to do exactly what I wanted to do and what made me happy.
Senator Brown, thank you so much for the invitation. This is just awesome. I mean, look around this room, ladies. This is what it's about. This is part of my plan to take over the world. So I thought I was just going to talk about, you know, Wonder Woman and all that, and I'll get back to that in a second, and I'll talk about some statistics and things to get you motivated. But my favorite part of my job, which a lot of people ask me, is already been mentioned. Going and talking to young women. My favorite is going to Girls State. I can't lie, over in Ellensburg. It's so much fun. And I love talking about it because the common thread of my career isn't that when I was 5 I went, God, I want to be Secretary of State someday. Didn't even know what that was until about, well, a few years ago. But anyway. But I'm an outlier. And now I'm going to hit some points on the curve, and I'm going to see how many of you know what I'm talking about. So I was the only girl on the 8th grade racquetball team. I am a product of Title IX. How many people in here are products of Title IX? And I've got some women that are looking at me like, what are you talking about? Those are the younger women. And I love that because they have no idea what we're talking about. So Title IX changed my life because it showed me that I could do whatever I wanted to do if I worked hard enough and had a goal and went for it. So I wasn't the greatest athlete, I was a pretty average athlete, but I had a great time. And the themes that you heard tonight are exactly what got me to where I am now. I wasn't the student body president. I wasn't even popular. You know, I was a pretty solid average kid, 3.2 grade point average in high school and college. I didn't do all of those kind of checkbox things that a lot of people that get to this level have. And so as a result, I went to college. I went to college because I didn't want to go to work. Let's be serious. It's like, for 5 years I can just go to school and people will think I'm working hard. So I ended up, I worked my way through college working for the city of Lakewood in California in their parks department. And I was truly blessed to have women who were in the field of recreation who mentored me and helped me see that I could do whatever I wanted to do.